Hello, creeps. Welcome to another episode of The Mortuary. I am your host, Morbid Tuna, and this is where we talk about horror films and related geekery. Today marks the beginning of a new series here at The Mortuary, where I'm going to be showcasing my collection of horror figurines. Most of them are made by NECA Real Toys, and I think it's appropriate to start with the figurine that is not only representative of the oldest film out of my entire collection, but also is the first figurine that started my current collection off several years ago now. It was one gifted to me by my lovely wife, and it is a true classic, The Monster, from the classic 1931 Frankenstein. Here's the box. As you can see, it's quite a work of art in and of itself. I'll have some still shots later in the video. But there's the box for it. And it opens up at the front like this. And there's the monster lurking in the dark. So here he is, the famous flat-headed, bolt-necked Boris Karloff Frankenstein monster. As you can see, he's a standard 8-inch size figurine, and the detail, as with all NECA figurines, is really quite amazing. You can see the likeness to Boris Karloff there in the face, and he's got a lot of points of articulation with his elbows. The wrists can rotate and bend. His head, multi-posable, and it's going to give you a good all-around view of him, reproduced exactly from the look that Jack Pierce created, the look of the makeup and prosthetics from the film. You can see he's got the bolts in his neck there and the scars and such where he was all put together. And this is basically what he looks like. Every figurine, or almost every figurine, comes with several alternate heads, as well as alternate hands, and a few accessories. This particular one comes with 2 alternate heads, 2 alternate pairs of hands. Sadly, I lost one of the hands a long time ago, as well as shackles for his hands and his flowers that he shares with the little girl in the scene where he ends up drowning her. But here he is, here's the monster. Now let's have some close-up shots of him, as well as shots of all the accessories that he comes with, and more details on the box. Here you go. So there you have it. That's the NECA Real Toys Ultimate Frankenstein Monster. As I said, based on the 1931 Frankenstein film starring Boris Karloff. You can see as well that he's not even just one piece. The jacket is actually a separate layer put over the top of him, so it really is a high-quality figurine. All the NECA ones that I've discovered so far are very high quality, very, very precise in their detail, accurate to the characters that they represent. I recommend them all highly, and this particular one is no exception. Now, since these videos are obviously a good deal shorter than my movie review ones usually are, I'm going to start this one off with a double feature. What could be a more appropriate choice after featuring the monster than to feature his mate? Yes, I am talking about the equally classic 1935 Bride of Frankenstein. This Ultimate Bride of Frankenstein, just like the previous one, also made by NECA and Real Toys. And there is, once again, the classic movie poster art on the front of the box, just like it was with the monster. And the really cool photos of the figurine on the front, back, and sides. Once again, there'll be still shots to look at them properly. And just like with the monster, the box opens up at the front, Got a cool picture of her there on the inside, and there's the bride herself in all her glory. So here we have the bride out of her box, and as you can see, her gown is a separate piece. Comes off, you can see it's just tied up at the back there, and her body is completely wrapped up in the bandages, just like in the movie. And I actually have a couple of her accessories on her here, these extra wrappings that are kind of hanging off her arms here are removable, and just like with the monster as well, her wrists, elbows, shoulders, knees, ankles, and her head are all articulated so that she's very posable. She comes with 2 alternate heads, as well as extra wrappings to go over her eyes, which are, again, removable. And the detail, just like with the monster, is very impressive. The likeness to Elsa Lanchester is dead on. There she is in all her loveliness, and you can see the scars there around her neck and jawline where she was put together. The classic white streak in the hair, and slightly different from most NECA figurines, her head actually comes off right at the collarbone, the whole thing including her neck, so that it can stick out of the dress and the wrappings there, just like that. One odd thing about her, unlike most NECA figurines, she doesn't have the little holes in her feet for putting the pegs in for the plastic stands that you can get, which isn't really a big deal. There's plenty of other ways to pose her, but just a funny little anomaly that I noticed. Anyways, let's have some still shots now of the various accessories, alternate heads and hands, etc. Have a look. So those are the first 2 figurines in my collection that I'm going to be showing you guys. As I said, both produced by NECA Wheel Toys, Ultimate Frankenstein Monster and Ultimate Bride of Frankenstein. Both very high quality figures, as I've shown. Lots of points of articulation, very precise details in accuracy to resemble the original actors, and perfectly matched, being that they're from the same series, in their size and proportions to one another. So, a very lovely couple. There they are. The first couple of horror, as far as I'm concerned. So that's it. I wanted to kick off my figurine series strong, and I think that starting off with the monster and the bride is a pretty darn good way to start my figurine series, since they're just such classics and obviously such well-crafted, high-quality figurines. Not to mention the beautiful art that is the boxes that they come in. I keep all the boxes for all the figurines that I have that are of this design just because they're so collectible just by themselves. But that's it for today's episode. So if you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button, click the subscribe button, and tell all your horror-loving friends to come on by the mortuary here on YouTube and listen to a grown man talking about his doll collection. Because let's be honest, that's what they are. Action figures, dolls, figurines, it's all the same thing. Who cares? It's fun. So tune in next time, and I'll show you the next figurine in my series. I'll give you a small hint as to who it's going to be. It's another character from a film of the same decade as these 2. That's all I'm going to say. You're just going to have to wait and see what the next one's going to be. So until next time, this is Morbid Tuna at the mortuary saying, slash you later.